Twitter, brother, sister made the comment. They said, well, Dr. Umar, if somebody's not thinking about being a homosexual or a lesbian, I don't think they can be an influence to do that. You are dead wrong. In my high schools, I got 9th and 10th graders, socially isolated, low self-esteem, who want to fit in with somebody, don't feel like they are part of nothing. If a strong lesbian energy comes to that child, even if she was not a victim of rape, if a strong homosexual energy comes to that socially awkward boy and offers him a place in a social group, he can be influenced to get involved in a lifestyle he knew nothing about. Don't you tell me you cannot be bullied into it. I've seen it with the children I work with. But I'm going to tell you the problem, and I'm going to leave this topic alone and move on. The problem is that black heterosexuals, us,
come on.
We too afraid to say we love what the hell we are. See, the only people that our children are seeing saying I'm proud of my sexual orientation are the LGBTQs. You don't have to walk down the street saying I'm proud to be heterosexual. But you do need to raise your children with principles, with standards, and with values. Because if you don't give them to them, the public school will. If you don't give them to them, TV and radio will. And I'm going to do one better. The gay black male movement is a very proud movement. And black men, we can do a lot to reverse this assault against black boys' minds by showing them how much we love black women. We can do something about this by showing them the divinity of black queens. We can do a lot to fix this by letting black men know, our little boys know, how much we love their mothers. Because if you haven't been paying attention, there's a war against the image of the black family right now. Empire is only a piece. Now, when Waiting to Exhale came out, we said, wow. Look at this movie. A whole bunch of unhappy, thirsty women who've been done wrong by brothers. Color Purple came out. And we said, my God, look how they portray black men in Color Purple. And then Tyler Perry came out. But why did I get married one? Why did I get married again? Temptation. He had about 10 movies attacking the image of the black man and the black woman. And then Scandal came out with Olivia Pope, and black women went crazy. In fact, it's the #1 show in America, was until Empire for black females. Now the question I have for my sisters who are in love with Olivia Pope, I thought we'd been there, done that. I thought black women were sick and tired of being the sex slaves to the president of the United States. I thought we did that with George Washington. I thought we did that with Thomas Jefferson. I thought we was there with Alexander Hamilton. I mean, my great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandmother, Betsy Bailey, who was born in 1774, was probably sexually abused by the slave master who owned our family. Which is why if you look at my family, a lot of my nieces and nephews, my father, they're bright yellow with green eyes because of the influx of the slave gene, going back to the 1700s. I'm quite sure Grandma Betsy, if she was here now, would not be watching Scandal, reminding her, popularizing something that she had to live. See, black woman, let me tell you a little something. Psychologically speaking, there's a little bit of you in everything you like. So if Scandal is your #1 show, you know what you're telling me? You're telling me that somewhere deep down in your spirit, you wish you could be a millionaire. See, we got to talk about that. Because, sister, you might say these brothers are dating non-African women and they're dead wrong for doing it, yes. But if you go home and fantasize on Scandal about being with the president of the United States, you know better than the brother with the white one. So we got to check ourselves. But I'm saying that they're killing the image of the black family, not for y'all. We know black love is possible. My parents were married. Okay? But we also know that our children don't see a lot of happy black families. And so Scandal and Empire in the reality shows But y'all so stinking trifling. I mean, have you ever seen anything like it? One sister like a bumblebee with a blonde head of hair, lipstick on, But anyway, it's trifling. But when your daughter sees this, she gets a negative image of what a black man is supposed to be. And when your son sees this, he gets a negative image of what a black woman is supposed to be. And if you get fed Scandal in the 5th grade, and if you get fed Empire in the 6th grade, and if you get fed reality shows all during middle school, by the time you get to high school, definitely by the time you graduate, you ain't looking for nothing that looks like you to build a family. But here's the thing. Y'all got to learn how to turn off the TV. See, my problem with the television and my problem with the radio, nobody is forcing black people to let their children watch this filth. I had a mother email me last month. She came home and caught her 5th grade son on the internet surfing gay pornography sites. She said, Dr. Umar, what do I do? Well, the first thing you do is you find out where he got the idea. He didn't wake up with that. So did another kid give it to him? Are you letting him watch things he shouldn't be watching? Do you have a pedophile in the family? Because remember, most children who play with other children sexually were played with. So when you talk about the adult child molester, 9 times out of 10, the adult child molester was molested as a child. So we gotta find the root of the issue and pull it out. Yes. But brothers and sisters, let me say this, and I think I speak for the sisters in the room, although I'm not a sister, and that is, I think black women are getting tired of the feminization campaign against black women. Yes. I think black women, as much as black men, want to know what happened to black masculinity. Woo! What happened to the days when a black man walked in the room and you felt the energy, even if you didn't see him? What happened to that? What happened to the swagger of a black man? I think we tired of the skinny jeans. The skinny jeans have ran its course, right? We need men. We need men. Stay with me. The reason we're opposed to sexual confusion is because in African culture, our cosmology is based on the complementarity of opposites. So we believe for every yin, there's a yang. For every north, there's a south. For every plus, there's a minus. Adam was not a man. Adam was the essential building block of creation. God made the Adam. And that Adam had a positive and a negative charge, a masculine and a feminine aspect. And that Adam would be the essential nucleus of everything in existence. So if you start playing with God's creation, if you start putting 2 pluses together, and you start putting 2 minuses together, you can create a spiritual catastrophe. So we don't hate no one, but we understand the wisdom of the universe. Every masculine seeks his opposite. Every feminine seeks her opposite. There's nothing more beautiful than a black woman who wants to be nothing but a black woman. Hello. And a black man who wants to be nothing but a black man. The original trinity of man, woman, and child. That is our cultural foundation. That's what we are about. That's our essence. But the problem is some of y'all being confused. Some of y'all are being told that people are born this way, and maybe you were too, and maybe you should have a sexual experience to see if maybe that's your pathway. Black woman, I want y'all to be careful of the feminist movement. I want y'all to be very careful of this new Facebook black female feminist revolution that's going around blaming black men for everything wrong with black women. Stay with me. Because black men have the same thing. There's a black masculinity movement that wants to fight back against the black feminine movement. Negroes throwing darts at each other, failing to recognize that the common enemy black woman. When the white woman fought the white man during the women's rights struggle, I understood her struggle. Because the white man controlled if she worked. He controlled if she could wear pants or not. He controlled whether she could vote. He controlled whether she could go to college. He controlled whether she could leave the house. So when the white woman started the white woman's lib movement that has its roots in slavery, I understood. Because the white man was the oppressor of the black female. But black woman, let me ask you a question, sisters. Has a black man ever kept your ass from getting a job? What black man in here told his woman, you can't work? Black woman, has your man ever been able to control what you wear out the house? We don't control how y'all dress. What black man has ever stopped this woman from going to college? So when you say black feminism, black male oppression, help me understand. Because if we don't control no institutions, how the hell we control y'all? We not the enemy. However, brothers, there are some issues that sisters need to deal with. There is some sexism in the black revolutionary movement. Some sisters are tired of joining organizations where the only thing they expected to do is cook, clean, care for the children, and make your cookies, and you know what cookies are. So black woman, I can understand your need to check us on some things. Because there is some sexism there in attitude. But it might not be in absolute power because we control nothing. But if you need to check us on the sexisms in the black community, on the domestic violence which is out of control in the black community, then you have our permission to do that. That's why there's a movement called the Black Womanist movement. See, the black womanist is the opposite of the black feminist. The black feminist wants to beat up on the black man like the white man does. But the black womanist says, I can be for my black man and still hold him accountable when he messes up. I can be for the black family and still hold him accountable when he ain't doing right. The black womanist movement says, I do not have to masculinize myself in order to be equal with a black woman. You're the only woman in the world who's not allowed to be feminine. I don't know if y'all know this, but the white woman can say she hurt. Chinese woman can say, I'm tired of raising these boys by myself. East Indian woman can say, I'm thirsty and I want a husband. But if the black woman hurts, if the black woman cracks, if the black woman needs a break, you're received as weak. You have allowed white folk to create a popular image of the black female that is one step below being a man yourself. And sisters, you got to take it back. Take your femininity back. When the Creator raised up the heavens, He put a masculine foundation and a feminine foundation, so there would be balance. If all the men are going to be feminine, then the universe is out of balance. And if all the women want to be masculine, the universe is out of balance. We need black women to embrace the divinity of your feminine principle, and we need black men to embrace the divinity of our masculine principle. We have to tell young black girls, be feminine. You are goddess. We got to tell young black boys, be masculine. You are God. And this community can only balance and operate if we have an equal devotion of energy. So we all have to play our place and play our role. Now, brothers and sisters, The white man been following me around the country, and he found out that I've been teaching y'all about this special ed thing. So there's a new movement in America that just kicked off. They try to force parents to immunize their children against their will. Now the law hasn't passed yet, but half the states in the country now, coincidentally, with the release of my book, want to force you now to immunize your children. But I'm hearing from the legal system that we can still fight it. That it's a constitutional violation to deny you the right not to immunize your children. Now some of you will probably say, why does Dr. Umar not want me to immunize my child? Well, first of all, I'm not a medical doctor, I'm a doctor of psychology. But I can speak as being an educator that many of the children I see who come down with autism and pervasive developmental disorders and mild and severe intellectual disability, otherwise known as mental retardation, were all immunized as children. On the flip side, I can hardly find a black autistic child amongst my children who were never immunized. In fact, there was an article released last week, a whistleblower from the Center for Disease Control, who came out and said emphatically that the immunizations, this was a white person, he said it's the immunizations that are causing the autism. Yes. Do y'all realize that when we went to school, now I'm 40 years old, 13 years of grade school, kindergarten plus 12, 4 years of undergrad, 3 years of a master's, 8 years of a doctorate program, I never had an autistic classmate in 40 years. That's right. But most of us didn't. But your children will probably have at least one every other year. How do we get so many autistic black children so fast? It's because of the immunizations. I'm not going to tell you not to immunize your child. I can't legally do that. But I can tell you to think twice before you do. And if you're thinking about doing it, do me a favor first and read Dr. Laila Africa's African Holistic Health. If you're going to do it, do me a favor first and read Curtis Coss's book, Vaccinations Are Dangerous. If you're going to do me a favor first and read Scott Whitaker's book, Medicine, spelled S-I-N, Medicine. Brothers and sisters, our children don't need immunizations. They don't need them. My baby girl is not immunized. She's only 3. She'll be 4 in June, and she's not going to get immunized. Her mother disagrees with it because she's a vegan. I disagree with it from a political perspective that is not necessary, and I have proof that they're putting chemicals in these shots. Chemicals in these shots that are killing black folks. Some of you took that flu shot this past winter. You better stay the hell out of Walgreens. That flu shot is not for you. But let me tell you what's in that flu shot. You know what they got in that flu shot? Time-release breast cancer. You know what they got in that flu shot? Time-release diabetes. You know what they got in the immunizations? Time-release cervical and prostate cancer. Black men and women, if you only knew what is in place to rid you from this world, you'll be scared to ever eat again. That's how wickedly wise they are with the immunization movement. You heard about what they're doing with the seeds in Africa. They're trying to pass legislation to stop African countries from growing food with natural crop. They want to make them go to Monsanto and the other companies and buy the seed from them. When the research shows what? Mice that are fed GMO crop seed develop cancer within 6 months. Now when you go to the Chinese Stop and Go here in Detroit, and you get you 6 wings with salt, pepper, ketchup, did you check to see where they got them wings from? Did you check to see how old those wings are? What about the ketchup? You know the expiration date? Was that on the bottom? These Chinese Stop and Goes are selling you poison.